about, we just got finished looking at our experiment. We're talking about different types of chemical change. You want to hear a really cool experiment to do? Check this out. But you got to make sure you ask your parents' permission first. If you get a Coca-Cola bottle, right? And you take the cap off, and you take a Mentos, and you put it inside there, and you hold it like this, it's going to go, it's going to explode. Now, when you have a change like that called, what's that called? It's called what? A chemical change. But how would you describe the change? As very aggressive or moderate?
Aggressive.
Very aggressive, okay? So that's an aggressive chemical change.
How do you do that?
I know why.
Isn't it hydrochloric because the mental is rough and the little rough spots carries carbon dioxide, and when it goes inside the soda, it pushes the soda out of the bottle.
Very good. Also, for the ladies, what happens when you get your nails done and you want to remove the nail polish? What do you use?
I never did.
Nail polish remover. Now, what takes the nail polish off your nail?
Oil. Alcohol.
Alcohol, exactly. So when you introduce alcohol to nail polish, what's the chemical change? It comes off. Exactly.
Is that a mild reaction?
That's a pretty mild reaction because it doesn't cause...
Isn't it like vinegar and salt with like really dirty pennies?
That's true. Now, what don't you want to do? Now, for example, if you have something like acid, and you introduce that to, let's say I had acid and I dropped the drop on this table, what would happen? It would burn a hole through the table. That's an aggressive, vigorous chemical change. Right. So, also, for example, what happens if you take a spoonful of salt and you put it in your mouth?
Sodium.
But what's going to happen in your mouth? Your mouth's going to start to do what?
Burn.
Not burn, it's going to start to... No, it's going to start to...
Vomit.
You're going to start to salivate, and your mouth's going to fill up with water, and it's going to start dripping on the side of your face. Yeah. And why is your mouth doing that? To compensate for the change. What's the change? You introduce what to your mouth?
Salt.
The salt, okay? Everybody, now listen, everybody's got a refrigerator at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's something that you'll find in the back of your refrigerator, a yellow box? And it's there to keep everything fresh.
Really?
Anybody know?
No. Is it a light bulb?
Let's say it's your refrigerator. Here's the freezer, here's the refrigerator right in the back. It's a lonely yellow box.
What? Never saw it.
It's got something inside of it.
Never saw it.
Well, it's called baking soda.
Baking
soda. Now, you ask your parents when you go home. Take a look in the back of your refrigerator and see if you got a yellow box and the top is open. That's baking soda. Now, they introduced the baking soda inside the refrigerator to do what?
Oh no, I'm asking a question.
What's the question?
Wait, so you put vinegar in that box?
Not a good idea. Hold on, so let me get this question. Yeah.
If you pour vinegar in the box, have yellow box or...
No. This is something, like when you buy your refrigerator, it doesn't have this in there. Your parents, they go to the store and they buy baking soda. It usually is sold in a yellow box. It's very familiar that way. And they put it in the back of the refrigerator and they close the door. Now, while it's in there, having the baking soda exposed inside the refrigerator helps to preserve what? The food. But what also helps to preserve the food?
Cold.
The temperature in the refrigerator, right?
Doesn't vinegar, which is an acid, help preserve food, but it has to be on it. Baking soda, which is a base, doesn't need to be on the food, but it still keeps it fresh.
Right, and what's something that you could use to clean your tables that you just mentioned?
Not vinegar.
Vinegar, right? You put it in a bottle and you can spray it and it actually acts as what kind of... What do you clean your windows with?
Wouldn't it be easier just to dust your entire table with baking soda and then put vinegar on it?
Yes, well, you just said it. A homemade version of Windex is vinegar and you use that to clean your windows. Also, for example, let's say you have a drop of water.
Yeah.
And I introduce it to freezing temperatures. What's going to happen to the water?
It's going to freeze.
It's going to freeze. What kind of change is that? A physical change?
Physical.
It's a physical change. And what's the chemistry that changes?
The temperature.
The temperature changes it, right?
Isn't a physical change a change that changes the state or the shape, but doesn't really alter the object, like changing any way, shape, or form, except on how the way it looks?
Well, that's my question. So when the water freezes, if I take water and I leave it in the cup outside and it freezes, does it change the chemistry of the water?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't it still, what's the chemical sign for water?
H2O.
Isn't it still H2O?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's no chemical change.
But what if you add salt to water?
If you add salt to water, what's the chemical symbol?
Salt is NaCl.
NaCl, so that's chemical. Now, if I was performing a scientific experiment and I wanted to strip the salt from the water, that would be a chemical change, right?
Isn't it a chemical and a physical?
Well, it doesn't. But if I was changing the composition.
You evaporate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you wanted to evaporate. Now, I'm saying is the evaporation process, that changes the NaCl to what?
To two parts. The water goes down and the salt stays there.
There you go.
Isn't NaCl H2O?
No. NaCl is what?
Salt.
Salt. So the idea is if you add salt.
With water and salt combined, wouldn't it be NaCl H2O?
Right, that's what if you do the chemistry thing, it would look like this. NaCl, right? Plus H.
Yeah, that's how it was on.
Okay, and that would be what? Salt water. But like you said, if I take that cup of salt water and I put it outside and it's a hot day, what's going to evaporate?
The water.
And what am I going to be left with?
NaCl.
Okay, there you go. So we're talking about chemical changes, physical changes, and on the Mark Twain test, they may ask you to describe the difference. Or they may ask you to choose which one is a chemical change, which one is a physical change.
In the science, it's only multiple choice.
Yeah, now here's a trick question, okay? Let's see if you get this. This is the last question of the day.